Hi everyone, welcome back to Liz Sews. Today I have for you guys my August makes. I don't know about you, but August did not turn out how I had planned on the sewing front. I think I had 3 business trips this month. I came back from my last business trip with a nasty cold or flu maybe, I don't know, which knocked out both me and Tony for a week. And then I swear Uzi started sneezing too. So I'm not sure if cats can catch my cold, but I think he got a little bit of the sniffles as well, which made me feel really bad. I got a tooth infection, which was not a lot of fun. Took antibiotics for that. And then of course all the fun side effects that come with antibiotics. I did get a root canal on that infected tooth, so it's feeling a lot better now. And I'm hoping that September will definitely, looks like it's shaping up to be a lot easier in terms of having time to sew. So enough of me blabbing and talking about what's going on in my life, because that is not why you guys came. You guys just came to see the sewing project, so let's get on to it. So the first thing that I made this month was another good basic, and it's just a t-shirt in this lovely sort of warm toned emeraldy green. This is using the Sewaholic Renfrew pattern. I just did the v-neck with the short sleeves. That's my favorite configuration of this pattern. I've made this a couple times, so there's not a whole lot to say. I did try to use a twin needle when I was doing the top stitching, and I just really did not like how it was turning out. I think I used this fabric, which is, I believe it's a viscose, like a rayon jersey, so it has a lot of nice drape and it's very soft. But with that twin needle, man, it just caused tunneling. Like the bobbin tension was way too tight, and so if you looked at the top of the fabric, it would look like it was going flat, and then there was like just this bubble up between the 2 lines of the stitching. So I went through and unpicked all of that stitching and did it again in a zigzag stitch, which is not my favorite finishing technique, but it lies a lot flatter now, so I definitely prefer that. So still considering buying a cover stitch machine. I definitely think it would help a lot of my more knitwear things look a little bit more professional. But so far I've been wearing a lot of these t-shirts with the zigzag stitch, and it doesn't really bother me. I know it's not like the prettiest, but once I have it on, it doesn't really make a difference, and nobody's like mentioned it or anything. So the next thing I did was another pair of Lander shorts, and this is a pattern by True Bias. This time I cut them smaller. I think I did an 8 at the waist and then a 10 at the hip, which is 1 size down in both the waist and hip from the last pair that I did. And I think these fit a lot better. I actually had to take an extra, I'd say ½ an inch out of the waist beyond that size 8 just to get it, you sew up the side seams at a 1 inch seam allowance, and that allows you to be able to like test it on and make sure you don't need to add or take away any excess fabric. But when I tried it on, the waist was still a little bit big, even though I went down a full size. So I did take off an extra ½ inch on either side, ½ an inch on both sides. So I'm really happy with the fit on these pair. So this one I've used some more of that Robert Kaufman Effervescence fabric in the pocket lining. I just love the ability to be able to use some of my scraps in the pocket linings, because it's like I want to make bottoms that are in much more like neutral things that I can wear with lots of tops, but I love the ability to have those like cute little interesting flashes of color or interest or detail in the pocket that like it's my secret and nobody knows about. So I'm loving that. I definitely want to try the full length pant version of this pattern. I'm just not looking forward to printing out 45 pages and taping them all together. I hate PDF patterns. I cannot stand them. I think I vastly prefer having my patterns printed at a print shop and just sent to me, but it's really only economical if you have a couple patterns that you're getting printed all at once. So right now the Lander pants is just sitting in a file on my computer waiting for me to rack up a couple more patterns before I send it off to get it printed. But yes, these are great. I think if you have the pattern and haven't tried it yet, definitely do it. And these have got to be the most comfortable pair of shorts I've ever owned. Mostly because I was able to fix my rise issues that I always have with pants. So yes, this is one of my A+ patterns. So far, I've tried the Ogden cami and now the Lander pants from True Bias, and everything I've made from that company has been perfect. And I'm just like wanting to make an entire wardrobe out of it. So make these if you have the pattern. The last bit of sort of clothing that I worked on was a muslin for Vogue 9257, and I've actually made these palazzo style pants. I wasn't sure if this sort of style would look good on me, so what I ended up doing is just buying some very cheap gabardine fabric off of eBay. I think I paid like $8 for this, for the full length of fabric. And I just wanted to test it out because I knew I had to make some adjustments in the crotch and the length, and so I didn't want to cut into good fabric first. So red, not my color, but it was really, really cheap, and I was just buying it to test it out. So I have not finished these pants. I didn't put like the closure. It just needs like a button closure up here, and then I need to hem them as well. So in the video, the clip you'll see of me wearing it, I just have the hem pinned up at the bottom just to test the length. So I did, like I said, I made a couple of alterations to this pattern. I lengthened the rise in the front crotch by 1 inch and then the back crotch by 2 inches. And I'm really glad that I did a muslin for this because while that rise and crotch curve fits me very well, I forgot to account for the fact that the back was 2 and the front was 1, so I never trued up my side seam and it didn't quite match up. So I've gone back in and taken, you know, that pie piece out so that I still have that extra length in the crotch curve, but I haven't added any extra length to the side seam in the back. But all in all, I think these fit actually really well. Tony hates them on me, but I don't care because I think they look good. It does have a curved waistband, which I think is really, really flattering. Especially like a lot of the things, like even the Lander pants doesn't have a curved waistband, it's just a straight rectangle. And I think for me, I definitely need that curved waistband to just have it lying flat on my waist. So I definitely appreciate that, and I'll probably steal a waistband off of this pant and use it in some other patterns as well because I think it was drafted perfectly for me. It does have these 2 front pleats, which sort of, the gabardine doesn't press well at all. It just does not hold a press to save its life. So they end up looking a little balloonish in clown pants, but I don't know, I think it's a nice little detail. And then it has two darts in the back. So all the changes I made to the crotch and up here worked out really well, except for the fact, again, that I had to true up the side seams. I also added 3 inches to the length of these pants. I am 5'9", and normally I do buy, like when I buy ready-to-wear clothing, I always buy the tall size just so I can have that extra length. Normally they're too long for me, but I'd rather it be too long than too short because I can always roll it up. So 3 inches I added to this, and I actually think that that is a pretty good length if I'm planning to wear it with heels. I might take off like 1 inch or 1/2 of an inch though, just because I tend to wear flats more often than anything else. So that was just a wearable muslin, and now I'm going to go back in and make this pattern in some good fabric, but I'm not really sure which fabric I'm going to choose. So my first option is this really great, it's a wool suiting, Italian wool suiting, again, that I got off of eBay, but it has the most gorgeous fluidity to it. Like the drape on this is just so sumptuous. So I'm really excited about this fabric. It's quite lightweight. You can see it's a really lightweight suiting, but it has like such a nice soft buttery feel to it. I think it's gonna feel really nice against my skin and just be a great core piece of clothing that I can wear out to the office or something like that. So this is the first option to make those pants in. And then the second option is I do have some sort of heavier weight wool crepe in a chocolate brown that is coming from Minerva Crafts. So that fabric hasn't come in yet, so I'm waiting for that to come in, and then I'll decide which fabric I want to make those big palazzo pants in. I might end up making them in both fabrics, but I think I want to make just one first in a nice drapey fabric, just to make sure it's something that I'll wear and get a lot of use out of, and if I do, then I can go back in and make a second pair. And so the other things that I worked on, of course, are bras. I made 3 versions of the Boylston bra. So this is a new pattern for me. I just picked it up this month from Orange Lingerie, and it was one that I had a request to make a tutorial for. So if you are interested in learning how to make the Boylston bra, I will link it up here and you guys should check it all out. It's just a 3-day class on making this bra. So the first one I made is in sort of an eggplant cotton sateen, and then with these bright pink elastics, and then the inside is lined in all bright pink just because I thought that would be fun and girly. And then I did contrast stitching on the cups. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, so contrasting stitching up on the cups. This was really my like tester of this pattern. I have made a bunch of bras from Orange Lingerie before, so I kind of have an idea where I sit in their sizing, but it's always nice to do a tester first just to make sure you don't need to make any slight tweaks. I did make a faux pas when I was doing this bra. I ended up sewing 2 of the same bottom cups, not mirror images, so that wasn't quite right, and I definitely made sure to focus when I was making this bra again and make sure I got that corrected. Size wise, I thought this one fit me pretty well. I did go ahead and go in and alter my pattern slightly just so I could use a larger wire into it. A larger wire just sits a lot more comfortably on my chest. So this was the first tester version of the Boylston bra. Then I made sort of a classic nude. I'm sure this looks really boring to most of you, but I was trying to wear a white button-up shirt that I had made, and I was going to wear it to the office, and I literally couldn't find a bra that I could wear under it that didn't show through. So it was like a nice lightweight white cotton lawn. So I needed just a boring nude bra to wear under. So I have used Duoplex in this bra, which is the first time I've really used Duoplex fabric before. It's a really firm knit, and it's sold by Bra Maker Supply, I believe, and then anyone who sells Bra Maker Supply stuff has Duoplex. So Sweet Cups in the US, Beware in Sweden has Duoplex, and so like I said, it's a really firm knit, and one of the good things about it is that you don't have to line it because it's so firm. So when I made this one, I actually left the lower cup unlined, and then I just lined the top cup instead. It's a firm knit, it's a little bit thick, and it does get a little bit hot, so I don't know that it's the best material for making bras for the summer, but definitely I think in the winter it'll be fine. And so the color I've used here is light copper. So I got matching light copper power mesh and Duoplex and elastics and channeling and all that stuff. And then I used rose gold rings and sliders on here. So boring, but fits really well, doesn't show under clothes. So I think it's something I needed to have in my lingerie stash. The last bra that I made out of this pattern is in these lovely cotton, these were scraps that were left over from a dress that I made a couple of years ago, and it looked like a lot of fun, so I had to do it. So I used some seafoam green for the back band, and then the elastics are in seafoam green as well as like a buttercup yellow. I thought that was a good contrast to go with the owls. So yeah, Boylston bra is actually a really great pattern. I love having the fabric strap extensions. This is the one thing that I was sort of iffy about when I saw the pattern at first. I didn't think I would like them, but now that I've made a couple of these bras, I think it's super flattering, and I also think that this would make a great bikini top. So when I do get around to making some swimwear, and I need to, I think I want to sort of modify this pattern to make it into a bikini top, because I think it would just be really, really flattering, and I love the support and shape that it gives me. The last thing that I made, I know guys, I said that I didn't sew this month, but now that I'm looking at all of the things, I actually didn't do half bad. So the last thing that I made this month was this Jordy bralette, and black and sort of neon green. And I did this as part of the Bragist, that's the Instagram 30-day thing that TaylorMade Shop was hosting. So every day in August there was a different sort of prompt that you should use to put up some pictures. So for day 30, the prompt was pastels or fluorescence. And so obviously I picked fluorescent and made this bra, and it was a really, really quick make. And then I also added these little extra strappy bits on there. So, and this is just the fold over elastic, and I sewed it and then just attached it to the ring that was already in place, and then in the center front as well, crossing over. So I liked that little detail. I thought it added a little something extra. And then the bottom band is highlighter green, and I got this again from Beware. She has a wonderful range of elastics. If you go onto her website, I think if you go to elastic and then panty elastic, I believe, panty and boxer elastic, this is the 40mm width. She has a lot of different colors. And then I just use a 1.5 inch hook and eye with this. It's a little bit small for the 40mm elastic, but it's not so small that it's a huge deal. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. It's nice, light, and easy. This is a great summer bra. As you can tell, it's see-through and a little scandalous, but it basically feels like you're wearing nothing at all. So that is everything that I have sewn in the month of August. I hope you guys have liked seeing all these different things, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.